and welcome to Rolex Play, where we roll dice and we play games. You've joined us for our first episode of our midweek campaign titled The Threads of Chaos. Now, maybe that's a hint for something to come. Who knows? But anyway, this is the group. We have our players here. We are down one player today, but that doesn't matter. Brooke will be here next week, so that's all good. But we have Ilya, we have Marie, we have Leonie, we have Arne, and then there's Brooke. Excellent. You have joined us for the first episode. This is always going to be very awkward, but nonetheless, shall we begin, guys? Shall we just dive into it?
Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
sure. Yeah. Okay.
Yes.
Cool. Nice. So, you've joined us for our first episode titled The Shattered Dreams. So, as we begin, I'll give you a little bit of an introduction to the world, and then we'll get you into the setting and where the story is currently taking place. Calzaria is home to many oddities, one no stranger than the Red Grain Forest. Home to cherry blossom trees which are blooming as summer peeks around the corner, but other very strange trees bring life to these woods. Oak, spruce, palm, and other strange trees flourish in an environment not of their own. Wildlife from far and wide come here in the safety of these protected woods. Most are small birds, whilst others are large beasts who mean no harm to civilization. They just wish to live amongst themselves in a very peaceful environment. Cohesively living in these woods is a new settlement on the rise. The odd log cabin with a variety of local colours and white stone structures bring many fresh faces to this near central region of Calzaria. This place is called the Shard of Glass, one of many places and one of many brand new settlements across not just Calzaria, but the entirety of Kurthiek and its world. Here we focus on a very specific area just at this time. The party have gone about themselves, but one person has stayed behind at the stables to look after the horses. So, as we focus on the stables themselves, you can see there's a large building, ramshackly made together with bits of the local wood. But here you have two large, impressive horses with a caravan set to the side. The horses themselves look very tired and knackered, but we have someone who's currently tending to them and kind of washing them down after a long journey through the woods. So, Marie, if you could describe your character as they're currently within these stables.
Yeah. You see a human with like reddish hair, two long braids, just kind of talking to the horses, scrubbing them down, giving them some food, just waiting for the rest of the party to return. It's not doing anything out of the ordinary, I think.
Mm-hmm. And as you're kind of tending to these horses, there's no real individual here that looks after every other bit of domesticated animal that stays within these walls. It's kind of left open to adventurers and people of the town to tend to themselves and to leave their horses in the right place. You kind of taking care of the two horses that were carrying the cargo previously. You're tending to them. But you can also see there's other animals here as well. You can see there's this one large crustacean-like creature with these large appendages at the very front. It's currently coiled up into a large shell on its back. The creature itself is probably the same size, if not slightly wider and a bit taller than a regular horse. You can see it's very heavily built. Its scale, its kind of large exoskeleton is of a dark brownish color, and you can see it's just kind of currently in its shell. The shell itself is kind of opalescent in color, refracting in the sunlight as it's about midday, and you can see it's just kind of hiding in, and there's these two pointy eyes on almost like sticks, just pointing out and looking towards you in your direction. It's just kind of there chilling. It's not really acted, it's just kind of stayed to itself. And you can see another one, which is resting along the side on another pen. There is this large goat-like larger than a goat, more like a ram in its build. Same size as a horse. You can see it's heavily built, muscular, as well as these large horns that rise upwards and back again. You can see this one seems a bit more territorial. Every so often, when people come and walk past, you can see it just kind of push its hooves and kind of exhale breath in their way, just kind of giving off its territory. On occasion, you have gone kind of slightly near it, and it has kind of threatened to charge you, so you know to kind of avoid it and to stay away. But it is tethered to a leash, so of it escaping would only mean that it has to use some force to escape. But yeah, what else does Maycelia do while she's kind of tending to the horses? You have a fair bit of time just about yourself.
I think a part of her, because she's curious, is like trying to push her luck, getting a little bit closer to it, and then like when it's getting to show signs that it doesn't like it, she'll step back to only, try to push it a little bit forward.
Mm-hmm. Okay. I'd like you to roll an animal handling check as you are kind of testing the waters there and having a bit of fun.
The injustice of the fact that I didn't even get a roll.
18?
Max is just like, nah.
18. You can see it's kind of tired down. It's had a long journey before this, it seems. And you can see as it's kind of huffing and puffing in the direction of most people, there is something inside of it which seems to be quite knackered, quite tired. But as soon as you begin to approach, you can see it kind of stand its ground again, kind of puff out its chest. And every time you kind of get a bit closer, it does kind of huff and puff in your direction. It stands at about 10 foot tall. The horns go further than that, reaching at about 15 feet. So it does have this impressive build to it, but you kind of like play and skirt around. And at one point you do see it kind of, every so often you do get a tiny bit closer, testing the waters. And at one point you find yourself right next to it and it doesn't really react. It just kind of like stands there. Every time another person walks past, you see it just kind of puffs out its chest to them and then just kind of mind its own business again. But you are like right next to it.
Can I pet it? Or like, can I slowly take my hand towards it to see if it wants pets?
Sure, you begin to kind of put your hand towards it. Just roll an insight check. See if you can read it.
7.
You're not too sure. Its square, beady eyes are a bit kind of freaky as you stare in its direction. It's just kind of like looking forward, every so often eating a blade of grass and just eating and chewing away. So if you wish to try and pet it, that's up to you. You're not sure what might happen.
I'm gonna try and pet it, but I'm also gonna be very, very, very close to like withdraw my hand.
Okay. You begin to give it a reach and pull on the side of its fur. Its fur is heavily matted. You can see that it hasn't been combed in quite a while. On closer observation, it looks like that this goat hasn't really seen much care. It's got heavily matted fur, and there's dirt and twigs mixed in between. As you begin to pull your hand through it, you kind of pull away large bits of twig and throw them to the ground. And at that, it just kind of like nuzzles its head towards you. Just begins to kind of like push its head into your body.
Is it boy or girl?
Do you want to check?
No, not really.
Okay.
I mean, I don't want to assume its gender, but yeah, it's fine.
So it just kind of like nuzzles towards you. Whilst this is happening, the rest of the party members have returned from the small kind of pop-up tavern that they had visited recently. And one by one, they begin to arrive back to meet you. So who would be the first out of this troop to arrive at the stables, do you think, out of the group of you?
Definitely not me. I would be probably trailing behind a bit, enjoying the sight.
I think me, because I left pretty early.
Okay. Axon, as you begin to arrive, could you please describe your character for us?
Yes, of course. You can see quite tall, taller than average humanoid with pale blue skin, also with quite completely white, completely white hair, which is wavy and quite long, goes until his waistline. He's wearing like half plate armor, which is quite fancy, and you can see it's his posture and stature is gives some hints of the noble origin, and he is moving pretty firmly and confidently, I would say.
Okay. As you arrive, as you're the first one here, you can see the previously very territorial goat that you had seen previously is currently canoodling alongside Mayceli, their head kind of resting in the side as she is pulling large bits of like old fur that is yet to shed off of him, and they have their eyes currently closed as they're just kind of like almost cleaning them by hand.
Do I recognize this sort of creature, or did I see it anywhere?
You'd seen it on the way through dropping off your horses. In terms of the creature itself, you can roll a history check or a nature check.
Nature, I think, would be more fitting. That's a 14.
Okay, 14. You don't know of its origins or where it came from, but seeing its build, seeing how it kind of reacts to the local terrain, you don't think this is a goat or a ram that belongs within the forest. You assume this because of the way that its hooves are kind of orientated, the way it holds its back up straight. This is someone that tends to be within the mountains. As well, with the heavy pelts of fur, you assume to be quite high up in the mountains. So being here in the forest is quite a different scenery for it. Not that it's used to.
Well, then I give an acknowledging note to Mayceli and go look at the horses.
Okay.
And
you approach the horses. They've been tended to. You can see they're both there, just eating some blades of grass, very slowly, rhythmically, and not having a care in the world, it seems.
then I will start casting Speak with animals.
Okay.
Well, it's a ritual, so I could communicate with them.
So you spend some time just to kind of prepare that spell. As you're there, ready to converse with the horses, the other members of your party begin to arrive to the stables as well. So who would be next? I imagine Arne, your character, might be next.
Yep. I watch over in minor shock at Mayceli as she is currently cuddling the goat that almost ran me over. Mayceli, are you sure that's a good idea?
Does it look like a bad idea?
That same goat almost ran me over last time.
Maybe you deserved it. It looks like very, very cuddly.
I get slightly closer as a tryout.
Okay, you take one step closer and you see the eyes, which were previously closed, shoot open, and they look in your direction. And you see they almost squint for a second as they see you.
Careful you won't get hurt. I don't think I will try my luck today.
I'm gonna whisper to the goat, what a chicken. Just start pitting it.
Okay, and if you could, Arne, describe what your character looks like.
Yes. Let's see. My character is a hill dwarf with pretty full brown hair and a braided beard. In that that braid is held together by some small metal plates, one of which adorning the divine sigil of Moradin. Otherwise, I'm clothed in rather crude, possibly self-made splint armor, along which run some leather straps with pouches attached. I assume I'm also wearing my rather large backpack, considering we haven't made camp anywhere yet.
Mhm. You could have left it with the caravan if you wanted to. That is up to you.
I don't really know anyone here that well, so I'll carry it with me.
That's fair enough. Just roll a insight check for me, if you could, Ulrich.
Cool. That button should do something, which it doesn't.
The mysterious button. 21.
Ooh, nice.
You having this kind of side eye on the goat, not really trusting it. There is a sense as you like not dismiss it, but approached it and then just kind of walked away. You sense that there was maybe somewhat of a bit of respect between the two of you. You stood your ground when this thing charged towards Cal earlier today. You were the one that impeded its path and it halted its kind of trajectory. So you get the sense that maybe this thing actually respects you more than you think.
I give it a slightly confused look, not being used to deal with animals as much, but a slight respectful nod, and I'll go along.
Okay. And then following behind Ulrin, we have both Helen and Cal. Cal, what is Cal doing as he's walking towards the stables?
He's just once again taking in the town, staring about, and every now and again diverting from the straight path to go towards the side corner, be like, "Ooh, what is that?" And then just refocus and be like, "No, we have stuff to do." He's also still like the tiny bits of tipsy, so he's just in a very good mood. But as soon as he gets close enough to see that Maysini is petting the goat, he's just immediately like, "Oh, come on, that's just mean. It didn't even let me get close. Why is it? I just want to pet it."
Gonna reach out for your hand then when you get or like, cause you're not. Are you close to me? Like enough where I can grab your hand?
Nah. Cal is not getting close to that again. Like,
She's reaching out her hand to like urge you closer.
Are you sure about that? Like, is that? Do you think that's a good
What's
idea?
the worst that could happen?
Well, last time I'm pretty sure it tried to kill me. Oh, that's reassuring. And Cal very carefully and slowly takes her hand.
And she'll like guide his hand towards the goat.
Mm-hmm. As you begin to guide the hand forward, you see that the goat's eyes are open and they're currently kind of like half. You can see they're like in that state of like half awake, half asleep almost, where you've kind of relaxed it to the point where all the exhaustion from traveling has begun to like take hold. And as it's kind of like struggling to stay awake, you bring over Cal's hand, and Cal, you begin to reach in and feel the heavy tufts of fur against its thick hide. And as you kind of like hold your hand there, you begin to kind of like give a little scratch. And at this point, as the two of you are there, just kind of rubbing its side and then close to its belly, you see it just falls to the side. Full
Aww.
rigor mortis, body just clenches together and then lands on the side away from you. Available.
So, does it
to
not
pet.
want to be pet anymore? It doesn't want to be pet.
You
Yeah,
kind of you
immediate
go in,
mood change to yeah.
you begin to give it scratches on its belly. You just hear it kind of just slowly, eventually, just starts snoring. You just hear just whatever goat sounds like when it's snoring. I don't fucking know.
This is great. This is great. This is great. Because Orin said animals don't like me, but I don't think so. Like some animals like me. I don't think the horses mind me. And this one, I thought this one. Thank you, Maisili.
As the two of you are there, just kind of scratching the belly of the goat, you do notice like a shadow above just fly past. Not just one, but like several small little kind of gliding creatures above. The two of you stare up, and you can see these almost winged-looking cats, like tiny, small tabby cats with flaps of skin between their arms and legs, where they just glide through the air. You can see they have like a curled-up tail, quite long, and they are tiny, small in stature. As they kind of land on the side of a tree, you see they begin to scuttle up like a squirrel in how fast they move. But you can see the head is like that of a small kind of small kitten, as they just begin to like climb around and go within the trees and play amongst themselves. As that's all kind of going on, eventually, Axon, your spell finishes, and you can now speak to animals. You just begin to hear from the horse itself, the one you've been speaking to most of the time. This is quite nice, but I really want an apple. Oh, hey! And you see they kind of turn their head. I didn't see you there.
Yeah, no problem. Here I brought you some vegetables. Do you want some, or you really want some apples?
Oh, I really want an apple.
Yeah, unfortunately there were none left. One cheeky guy bought everything out.
Oh, okay. I'll take what you have.
Yeah, and then I will give the leftovers out of my food, which I ate.
You begin to pull out small bits of some vegetables and begin to pass them over. As you reach down and pick up a carrot and kind of hand it over to the horse, you see it goes, "Oh, an apple! You did have one."
Well, then I wasn't aware of it, but you're welcome. Enjoy.
Thank you. What do I call you anyway? Are you my mom?
No.
Yeah. Are you his mom?
I'm your friend.
Call me mommy.
Okay, your friend. Nice to meet you. What's my name?
What do you feel like? Like, what do you want as a name?
Beelzebub.
Quite
Does the horse
cute
know that
name.
name?
No, I think it's a bit too dramatic for your for you. How about an apple?
Oh no, I don't want to eat myself.
You don't need to eat yourself.
But I love apples.
Yeah, then you will love yourself, no?
Okay. Apple. My name is Apple.
Quite a nice
Thank you,
name.
your friend.
And I pat him on the side. You're welcome. You're welcome.
That's nice. You can see the other horse, who you have given much less attention to. It's just kind of like side-eyeing the entire conversation and just continues eating.
I look at the other horse. Do you want some carrots or vegetables as well? I have plenty to share. If you want
No,
some.
thank you. I'm okay.
All
He
right.
needs all he can get.
Yeah, then I will continue feeding them, petting them, maybe some brushing,
Okay.
and wait until my party arrives so we could continue on our journey, or
All right.
do something else.
So at this point now, everyone reconvenes at the stables. You can see at one point this kind of very slender-looking feminine figure wearing very ostentatious jewelry in gold walks up to the large crustacean that was there just sat. And for the most part, a lot of you thought there was either a rock or just a statue or an implement in the City of Beauty due to the opalescent rock on its back. But you can see it begins to emerge, and you can see it's almost like this large hermit crab that then emerges from this shell and begins to move. And underneath the shell itself, you can see that there is this kind of hammock, it seems like, connected within. And you see she just kind of like looks over, gives him a little kind of pat on the side, and then climbs into the shell itself. And then the large hermit crab begins to just begin to walk off outside of the town.
Ooh.
As time continues, you know, or at least have been informed, that before you go southward, there is a shop with some supplies and something you can find along the way that might help you on your journey. So I believe that was the next stop you were going to.
Shopping, shopping, shopping. Yeah, Cal would just get up, give the goat a nice pat, and then go over to Ulrin. Okay, can we go shopping now? I love shopping. Let's go shopping.
Sure.
Yeah, he's gonna drag him towards
Were you
the shop is
still
currently
fully
at.
conscious when they told of a potion shop?
You see-
I'm gonna be honest. I don't remember a potion shop, but if you say they said there was a potion shop, then it was.
Helen just
Um,
speaks up, and she'll just say, "If you guys want to go to the shop, I'll just stay here and look after the horses. So Macy Lee can go with you guys, and I can stay here and make sure it's okay. You can leave your things as well if you want to, but if you trust me," she smiles.
I am definitely not, after you pulled that trick with that woman.
I mean, are you gonna explode more stuff?
Well, I can't confirm nor deny that.
That's not an answer.
I
Okay.
don't plan to.
Right. Plans are great. Plans never work. So, I'm taking my stuff. No offense, but I'm taking my stuff.
That's okay.
Yeah. Please don't open your book and don't explode things next to the carts or horses. You might frighten them.
Don't worry,
Yes.
I won't do anything. I'll just sit here by myself.
Better
I'll
if
leave
they
my-
leave the
You
book
did
in
only get one of the
more-
magic stones.
I'll leave my familiar with Helen.
Oh, you're familiar. Never seen
What is your
this
familiar?
one.
Yeah, it just kind of appeared out of nowhere.
Oh, what is it?
It's a
Does
pseudo dragon.
does he have a name? Or she? Or
I think it's a he, and I think it's I think it will be named Mushu for no particular reason.
Mhm. What does the pseudo dragon look like, perhaps?
I think it's just black scales. Still like size of a cat or something. Just chilling, I guess.
Okay. So as it kind of like coils away from your arm and jumps off, its small tiny wings flap over towards where Helen is, and she just kind of like looks at it for a moment. Oh, you're cute, and just begins to kind of scratch the side of its head. The pseudo dragon does on occasion just kind of like snap its jaws towards her if she like grabs the wrong area. But you can see it just kind of sits there and watches for the most part.
if I
Nice.
remember correctly, those are poisonous, or correct me if I'm wrong, Macy Lee.
Sorry?
Those are poisonous
Are they
dragons.
poison?
I don't think. No.
All right.
That would be cool though. Like, imagine someone goes like, "Oh, that is so cute. Let me pet it," and then they get bitten and they die.
Give it like 2
Well, you have-
levels or something.
Cal, you've had enough poison for a day.
You can never have enough poison for a day, unless it's deadly. Then you can very quickly have enough. But yeah, fine. Not getting bitten by poison stuff. Fine. Shopping.
You see, as it kind of rests next to Helen, and you guys begin to leave, its eyes are kind of this almost pure white. The rest of the scales are all black, but its eyes are like pure white in color. And every so often, you see it just kind of sneezes, and this powder of white smoke just floods outwards with a heat behind it. There's a warmth there that just kind of emanates from the air momentarily, with a slight sparkle to it. But you begin to leave the pseudo dragon Mushu along with Helen as you head up.
Before I leave, I just look at Helen and say, just as a fair warning, next time I hear about something like dirty and bad business of talking to someone and making them leave or making them not ever returning to this place, I would have to report you to the local authorities.
Hey, look, I understand. The guy seemed nice. I didn't actually do anything in the end, so I don't see any problem. And we did get paid, so here. And she passes over the bag of
You
coin.
can keep that coins. I don't need those.
Question. Wasn't the lady that gave us the job the law in town? Like, why would you report us to her? Or something we did for her.
Obviously.
I'm not sure that would work.
That's true. That's really true.
I don't know if you both are aware about hierarchy, but there are definitely someone above her, and I would have to report it, but I won't do it now. So it's just a fair warning.
Wait, okay. What illegal stuff? Like, what if, in theory, I have substances on me that aren't 100% legal? Are you gonna report those?
Well, as you
In
brought
theory.
this up, in theory, if I will be if I will find something or see something, like if you will consume or sell it or distribute it, then of course, if it's illegal, the legal authorities will handle you.
Right.
Buzzkill.
Right. Okay.
I not so
I'll
gently
remember
pat.
that.
Never mind. Okay, I not so gently pat Cal on the back. If he won't report you, I will.
Oh, come on!
Since
You
there's a
take
lot
the
of
fun out of
trust.
everything.
One day you're going to have too much fun and drop dead.
Nah. I mean, maybe. Might.
And as they say, if you have too much fun, you might explode. So be really careful about this.
No. We really only got one of those things. Like, she'd only give us one, so the kaboom is done, and that was it.
Well, we'll have to see about that.
Yeah. Before anyone gets any funny ideas, let's go to the potion shop, shall we?
Right.
Yes.
So the group of you head off. You've been pointed in the rough direction of where it is. You know what to look out for. And as you pass through this kind of ramshackle settlement, eventually you come across a place which is clearly signed and is inviting enough to the point where you assume it to be this kind of like potion selling shop. It's called Organic Crafts, and you can see the entire kind of sign written post, as well as the kind of archway and entrance to the main door itself. It seems to be made out of a wreath of flowers and different parts of flora that have bloomed out of the ground itself. So it seems to have almost twisted its way up from the ground and have risen around and made this kind of very nice entrance and doorway. A lot of it, though, seems to be almost thorny, with spikes and very kind of sharp edges, a bit dangerous, a bit more kind of not kid-friendly, we'll just say that. The exterior of this abode isn't too big either. You can see it kind of wraps around in this half D-like structure, with one side of it kind of slightly domed, whilst the other is just a flat backing. And the door seems to be slightly ajar. It's open, welcoming people to go in. Who is the first to enter?
Me.
Cal, you kind of push through the main door. The door itself, as well, is covered in the grass of the ground, so it's kind of like touching the grass floor and then pushing it forward. It's a strange sensation. Very unique style to this building. As soon as you enter, the first thing you notice is not anything visual or auditory. It's rather the smells and the kind of heat that's inside. The interior of this place feels almost like this contained, kind of like the best way to describe it would be a florist shop, but heavily humid. You can just feel this kind of air is thick with moisture in the air. It's just kind of like heavy and damp. As soon as you step through, your hair almost instantly becomes kind of slightly more wet. You feel this kind of water begin to brush up against your brow. It's like walking into like a sauna or the jungle itself, deep inside the jungle during a hot summer's day. And as you're going in, you can see that the ground and the surroundings are all covered in flora of different kinds, and there is a natural beauty to the interior. Just roll a perception check for me.
Perception. It's not doing what I want.
Really nice.
Okay.
So inside here, at the entrance, one of the first things you notice are dormant-looking, like predatory plants. You see two of them, these kind of large bulbs, like Venus flytraps. You see them just kind of massive heads. You can see rows of like spikes that seem intersected and a thin slit for where the mouth would be. And you see the two of them are just resting on either side of the doorway, and they are dormant. One is a bright red, the other is a bright pink color, and you can see they slightly kind of jostle and move around as they're just there hovering. You step through with a bit of caution to yourself. And as you do, you look around.
Cal is in love. He's not scared. He's in love.
Okay. To the rest of the interior, you can see that there is this massive oak trunk, like a tree trunk of sorts, but it seems to be carved and shaved. So there's no bark. It just seems to be the stripped back version of the tree oak itself, rising upwards into the ceiling and integrating into the entire roof above, going and arching all the way around and then down towards the walls. It seems like the ceiling itself, as well as the walls, are made of that same stripped back bark, that oak. The room itself is quite large, but it is filled. It's filled with botanical. You just see pots, you see different kind of flowers and elements here and there that remind you of the woods, remind you of the forests, remind you of places that you've been to, places that you've even walked through yourself, and kind of gotten lost in most of the time. But you get lost in a good way. For you, getting lost is a benefit, if rather than following the main path. But yeah, you walk in, I'd say with a 20 as well. You also notice that there is an individual at the far left-hand side of this room, tending to some plants, it seems. Large kind of figure. Bits of light that illuminates in the interior is of a kind of candles, small kind of beady candles that doesn't give off a massive brightness, but you can see they give a very warm glow in these corners, and they're placed in different areas up and down. So you can only really see the silhouette of this large figure. But with the 20, you can see that they aren't a regular human. Rather, they are half horse, half human. You see a centaur. You see one of these kind of large, four-legged, kind of bottom half, completely horse-like body, and then rising up from the forward-facing legs, you see this kind of human torso rising upwards, 2 arms, long hair, both facial as well as head, going down in these kind of braids that interweave, and you see they even drag on the ground. They don't really seem to have a care for their physical appearance. Very much entwined with the vibe of this place. But they haven't really noticed you enter yet. They seem to be tending to the small garden that they've got to the side. So you begin to enter one by one. The rest of your party do as well.
And Cal is just darting from corner to corner, looking at everything, like, "Oh my god, this is amazing! Oren, look at this! Do you know this plant? I've only seen this once or twice, and it does some very interesting shit. Like, there was one time, and he just goes on rambling about some story about a plant. It's like made up bullshit. It involves flies and much larger insects, and it's so."
I just walk with him and nod along, pretending I believe half of what he says.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
As you're kind of wandering off, Maysili and Axon, what are the two of you doing as well as you enter? Are you kind of looking for anything in particular? Does anything catch your eye, or are you just kind of looking around?
Just looking around, looking at the plants the centaur is tending to.
Macy's also not really looking for anything. She's just standing there passively. Well, just when you're at a party and you're standing towards the exit, that kind of vibe. Just I want to leave, kind of situation.
Okay. As you're kind of there by the main entrance, Axon, you begin to kind of look around with the other two as well. Just kind of getting a general glance of the area. You can see bright different flowers, strange, almost twisted alchemical flowers as well that don't really make sense and are slightly preposterous in size and form. Some move by their own kind of fruition. Others are like permanently fixed in place and don't seem to move, almost like stone, like they've been carved. But for Maysili, as you're kind of there by the entrance and the door now closes behind you, you do notice that those two large predatory plants above are just kind of like wobbling back and forth, just kind of looking around. And at one point you see the kind of twitching of the mouths, just and you hear a growl from the inside, almost like a dormant dog of sorts. You just hear it kind of growl to itself as it's there. As well, by the entrance, you see that there are some stalls within small garden areas. You can see there's a little tea set. There is a small circular table made out of wood with several chairs. And you can see there seems to be almost like a lounge area in several different areas, a place to kind of relax in the environment that is this place here. Sat at one of these small chairs and tables, you see a kind of tiny little saucepan and this kind of almost hooded, well, slightly hooded, the hood's pulled back to about halfway down the head. You see this tiny looking frog/humanoid individual. You see this kind of like brightly green lime skin, slick as it is. You see it in the very faint candlelight that seems to be about this area. You see that it almost refracts this pearlescent color, like an oil slick against the skin itself. The eyes are kind of a bright blue coloration, and you see it's just kind of there, sat there by itself, just looking at the small teaspoon in front of it.
I'm gonna side-eye it, trying to be discreet, but not really being very discreet. Like,
you see it kind of like reaches out to the saucepan as well, kind of just like side-eyes you with its massive eyes, and then just look back at the drink, and then look again.
gonna look to her companions to see if they have actually done anything so she can leave.
As you look towards your companions, you see they are now heading in the direction of the centaur, who at this point now seems to finish up his business and then kind of turns around. And you can see now in the full light, this man is a heavy pot-belly individual. You can see the bottom half, the horse part of him, is one of a Shire horse. So you see it's kind of like dark in color and hide, thick-skinned, heavy belly at the bottom as well as his top. You see that his legs themselves have these long bits of hair that rise down near the hooves, and they just look kind of dreadlocked as well. You can see the entire body of this individual just seems to be quite unkempt, a little bit of nature, and as you kind of appear and he turns around, he kind of smiles towards you with this kind of quite wide grin, but it's hidden in amongst most of the kind of heavily knotted beard and facial hair. He just kind of turns around. Hey, nice to meet you. Are you here for to purchase, to sit, to drink?
But
We're here
I
to
need to
purchase.
admire stuff.
Well, I at least. We heard you sell potions of various kind.
Oh, yeah, we have quite a few potions. Nothing too expensive or special, I'd say. We've sold quite a few recently. What can I say? Are you adventurers of some kind, or what is it I can help you with specifically?
We're about to go on a little journey to Bellavia.
Oh, quite a far way.
Maybe something to keep danger away on the road, or to heal up.
Okay, well, I've collected quite a few bits of trade over the years as well, so let me see what I've got, and I'll bring it to you. Take a seat in one of the chairs and treat yourself to some drinks. The yellow tulips, they hand out tea, so if you want some tea, just pick one up. And you see he begins to clop off along to one of the sideways.
Yeah, I try to
that's
find
so
a
cool.
seed that is the least overgrown.
You can see where
Cal
there
does the
seems to be
opposite.
the least amount of growth seems to be where the small frogman is. You can see he's just kind of like there. He seems to have cleared most of the patches himself because they seem to be freshly thrown onto the ground. And you see there's like 3 other chairs next to him. He's just kind of sat there, still side-eyeing Mayseely, just wide-eyed, looking over. But there are other chairs as well.
Yeah, so long as there's open chairs away from the stalking frog, I will pick one of those.
Okay. Easily done. So you begin to kind of sit down, wait for the owner of the shop to arrive. Eventually you can see he's got
Do
2
you
large...
think this was like this, or did he build it himself? Like, did you find a tree? It was just like carve, or was it already carved out like this? And he was just like, let's plant all the plants in here. What do you think? What do you think?
Why don't you ask him? He seems like a nice enough
I
fellow.
can do that.
At this point now, he returns with 2 large cases and these kind of like small chests in both arms, carries them out. Well, I can't really remember what's in these, so let me just pull them out 1 second and I'll show you what I've got. You asked for potions first, right?
Yes.
All right, cool. Well, he kind of unlatches one of the chests, pulls out a couple of vials and begins to kind of place them on the table in front of you. You don't mind if I just start placing them here and you can have a look at them?
Sure, whatever works best.
All right, cool. Hey, where are you guys from anyway?
Oh, I myself am from Cragmount. Spent roughly a dozen years in Trasvilavo.
Moradin?
Yeah. And I pet the sigil.
He kind of gives a thumbs up. Cool guys. Cool guys. I did some drugs with one of them.
I'm
guys. They were really
not
cool.
from around here.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Well, there's certainly nothing in the book that states against that, I suppose.
I said that to him too.
Ah,
He
isn't
started
there?
going mad.
I thought you repulsed me for the drug. Anyway, not important. What's way more important is the fact that you have an amazing and very gorgeous business. I love it.
Oh, thanks. Built it all myself.
Really? How? Like, okay. Did you carve this out yourself, or did you find an empty tree?
Well, I'm glad you asked. I planted my own tree. I've been here for 20 years. I found this place from a small sapling. Carved it myself, made everything as it is. The plants and bits of flowers I've gathered from long, long journeys.
Mm. Where did you get those? And like, can they actually eat people, or do I just think they can eat people? And he points out some gigantic ones at the entrance.
Oh, Sally and Sally? No, they won't hurt a fly.
They have names.
Yeah. they're
Oh,
both
I really
Sally.
like from looking at them. I really thought they could. That's a bit disappointing. I'm not gonna lie. Those would be amazing cards.
Oh, yeah. I tell that to most people. Seeing as you're a bit more aware, they'll eat your head off.
Yeah, that's what I thought. That's so cool.
Yeah, there was this one guy that came in once.
Amazing.
The entire
Yeah.
right arm just went flying. But he did try to
I
steal,
can imagine.
so yeah.
Yeah, who would do that? Like with that good of guards, who would think to steal from you? It would be that stupid. If you're ever looking to hire, like I would do a lot to work in a store like this.
You seem really nice, but I'm not actually looking for help at the moment. But
Oh,
if you're looking
okay.
for work, well, my friend over there, and he gestures over towards the small frog man. He needs some things, but you can ask him.
Well, now we kind of got something going already. But like, if you ever need to hire someone, just think of me first. I have no idea if you have any way of contacting me, but think of me first because I would love to.
Sure.
love
What's your
cats.
name?
Oh yes, I'm being horribly rude. My name is Calameus Fakir. It is a pleasure to meet you. What is your name?
York.
York.
York. Nice to meet you,
Hi.
Galameus.
Yes, it's amazing to meet you. Hi.
Hi. He shakes your
Hi.
hand. Hi.
Yep.
As he begins to pull out these potions, he eventually goes through one by one. Well, I have 2 regular potions, healing potions, that is. They can bring you back some vitality. I have this regenerative salve. Works best over long periods of time. A little bit better than a healing potion, but it is not as potent on the first take. So use it when you got some longer period of time to heal your wounds. I've also got this. It's a bottle of oaken skin. Fortify your skin and protect you from some bad scratches over time. I've also got these little trickstery things. He pulls out 2 bottles. These are my new potions. These help you get a bit smaller.
That sounds really fun. Can I have that one?
Well,
Alright.
I'll go through the prices in a second. He pulls out another one. This one seems to shine with a brilliant, dazzling light within, and it does give off a glow. He kind of shakes it for a second, and you can see there's like sparkles inside. This is bottle starlight. Throw it at someone, it'll explode. They'll go blind. Good stuff. And he puts it on the table.
Yeah.
Now, when it comes to potions, that's pretty much all I've got. I can do commissions for you, but I need some time. If you're looking to leave now, this is everything I've got. unfortunately. But outside of that, I've got some trinkets and stuff I've collected over the years. And he opens up the other chest. Just some miscellaneous things. He pulls out kind of this prong of metal. This is a lightning rod. Lightning goes here. And he puts it on the table. He pulls out another kind of this almost like crustacean scale, but on closer glance, it looks like a plate of armor which has several rows of just kind of like sharp hooks at the end of it. This is a Crickpod carapace, long ancient race, whatever the fuck, I don't know. Puts that on the table. These are quite fun. He puts on these glasses. You can see they have like a black lens to them. Obsidian spectacles. They help you kind of mitigate any sunlight stuff. Drow quite use these quite a lot. Also got this. Pulls out this very nice comb. Now this is a little bit more of a tricksy thing, but if you don't tell anyone else, I won't say you purchased it from me. This is called a duplicitous comb. Comb something, someone, you can turn into them. He puts it on the table.
Ooh.
A few other things I've got. Kind of like rummages around for a little bit. Pulls out this kind of wafer-thin arrow. It kind of has this kind of light to it, like a lightness in how he holds it. And it kind of slightly wobbles and bends as he holds it in his hand. This is a wind arrow. It shoots quite far. Puts it on the table. Now this thing, he kind of pulls out this 1 foot large bowl. As he pulls it out, you can scent its smell just is kind of this caustic kind of stink, almost like rot within its very center. He kind of pulls it out, and you can see within there's this kind of like mist of sorts, like a green mist. This is this is a caustic bowl. It's got acid inside. You can burn pretty much anything. Any organic material tends to be devoured and quite quickly. And he puts it on the table. One other thing in here, he pulls out this small bottle. He kind of like, watch this. Hello, testing. He taps the top of the bottle, then he kind of opens it, and then you hear the same words repeated. Hello, testing. This is a mimicry bottle. You can use it to record a small bit of noise, whatever. You cork it, and then you can open it, and it does the noise again. Try and stick to like a minute tops when it comes to what you put inside. It also booms your voice, and he just kind of like shouts into it. You see the leaves all kind of shimmer and shake slightly. But it's quite a fun tool. Puts on the table. And then you showed interest in Sally, so let me show you one of these. And he pulls out a small plant, which begins to wrap around his arm. Like the vines are the tail of this almost snake-like creature. And you see it wraps around, and the head of it is that of a Venus flytrap. Quite large in size, like a fan. And you see as he kind of like gestures to it, he gives it a little scrunch under the chin. This is a Venus man trap. It will bite down anything that gets in your way.
Oh, that is adorable. Can I pet it?
Did you hear what I said?
Yes, but can I pet it?
Oh, sure.
I'm gonna try and replicate what you did. I'm gonna try and scratch it under the...
Kel, have you not learned from the
There.
goat? Keep your hand.
You see this kind of like flat disc of a face just kind of like wiggle back and forth slightly. But it doesn't. It's not given the command to bite, so you're fine.
See? Plants like me better than animals. Always been the way.
So have a think if you want any of these items, and I can see what prices I can sell them to you for.
Can you describe the thingy, the crustacean plate again?
Yes, so the crustacean plate is essentially like this. It basically covers the side of your forearm, and it's like this plate of armor, which is oval in shape. It itself is several layers and rows of spikes that are hooked slightly. You could roll a history check if you want to see if you know what a crickpod is or the background
Yeah,
of it.
14.
Can I do the same? Sorry.
We'll go with this and then we'll jump over to the other thing. So a crickpod it's a race that's not been around for a long time. They are this kind of ancient insectoid race that's kind of only seen now in the armor and bits of relic that have been left within museums as well as surrounding the Drow history. There's an area known as Delameduso, which is the kind of hive and center of Drow Kingdom. They themselves use armor and weapon found and discovered from this crickpod race, and even the almost like the exoskeleton of these insectoids are used for weapons as well as armor pieces. So this, for all intents and purposes, is a different type of shield. Rather than giving you a +2 to AC, it gives you +1. But whenever a melee attack hits you, you deal 1d4 piercing damage in return. So I can send through all of the descriptions of these items, and then you can go through them one by one to see which one you like and or would like more information on.
Are you gonna add the price, or do we have to add?
I will add the
Very
price
interested.
as well.
Okay.
And
Can
just
I-
as a reminder, you guys have received 220 gold pieces for delivering the stonework. And then if you wanted to accept the gold from Helen, there's an extra 80 gold there as well. I'm sure she would have asked you to buy something, so you can also add 80 to that. So you have 300 gold to work with outside of your own gold.
Can I, in the meantime, identify the plants or like look at them and try to get, the idea if they can be used for the potion crafting and something like that?
Yeah, so you look around, roll a nature check for me.
I do have a proficiency with herbalism.
Yeah,
Does
that
it-
works as well, yeah. You can use
Okay.
that instead.
What should I roll again? Medicine? Investigation?
So this would be your intelligence plus your proficiency.
So I will just roll investigation because it's intelligence. Proficiency.
Yeah, that's fine.
21.
21. You can see that there is a matter of plants here from all sorts of places that you could derive anything from. So if you were looking for something that had a hypnosis sort of effect, something that could cause drowsiness or paralyzing, poisons, all of these plants can be attributed to anything that you're looking to craft if you want to build something yourself. The ingredients are all here.
I will turn to Centaur. Do you sell those plants as well, or is it just for like a hobby of yours?
No, of course, I can sell anything here, just not myself. I don't want to do that. But yeah, if you're looking for ingredients or anything to make your own potions, I can sell them to you as well. I just don't have the hands to make as many potions as I'd like to.
Oh, don't worry, I'm quite capable of crafting them myself. I'm looking for some plants or I don't know flowers which will heal or remove poison from the body.
I've got some of them, yeah. Let me have a look and I'll get them for you. And he begins to kind of go around and look for them. You guys have some time to yourselves without him present, if you wish to discuss anything.
Okay, dumb question. Do we each have 300 gold, or do we each have 50 gold? 60 gold because we parted by 5.
If you split it, you have 60 gold each, yeah.
Okay.
If we split it but don't accept the 80.
And then you have 220 to split between.
Then, yeah.
Okay, so 220.
Yeah, then we had
my plans. it's 44, I believe, then.
Yeah.
Or, yeah. So you have additional gold from 80, because I am not taking them.
As Miorg is beginning to retrieve some of those plants, you can see he gathers ingredients enough to make a few of the a few different potions, especially healing salves that you're looking for, Axon, and he just kind of presents those to you. Here, if you're looking to create some potions or ailments, as you said, I can give these to you, and you can use them as you see fit. They use it for both purposes, alleviating toxins from the body if you're poisoned, or as well if you're looking to heal over a wound. And he just presents this to you. This package, you could make 5 different potions and salves from them, and I'll sell it to you for 25 gold pieces. You have to get the other resources yourself, but that'll only be the bottles or the alchemical products to make these. But I'm sure you have those already. You look like quite a studious man.
Well, indeed. Yeah, could they be applied also raw to the wound, or
They can,
or
but they're not as effective. They have a chance to fail because you need to treat the plant. You need to basically give it all the love you need.
Yes, of course, I understand. Just, in that dire situation, it might also, be fitable, or I would need to apply them as they are. But of course, I will buy them off your hand, 25 gold, and here you go. And I hand him 25 gold pieces.
He collects them from you. And if you're looking for, if you want to trade something for these as well, just like how I received everything else, I'm happy to hear any suggestions.
You mean those magical items, or
I collect all sorts of things. This settlement is always in need of items, and I tend, because I got a lot of different people coming in for potions like yourselves, so anything that you deem could be helpful to the town, I can purchase off of you and then give it back.
Yeah, unfortunately, I don't have anything on me. Like, I cannot sell anything, as you could guess, I'm a traveling person, so I haven't got anything to sell.
What you do have is your own wit, and that's very much needed for a person like you.
That's very true. You're quite wise, and thank you for the compliments.
No, I'm not wise. I'm just stoned.
Yeah,
Yeah,
of
I get
course.
that.
Have you ever
very true.
been to Feywild?
Oh, yeah. Lots of times. Great people. Really enjoy the tastes and the different culinary sites there. It's a great place to be.
You should definitely visit in Noxella. You would be impressed. It's a huge tree, and the city is built on top of its branches.
Okay, I'll give it a look. Thanks.
Oh, yeah, but it's probably better to wait, a few years before you go there.
Still up and running? I understand. Places, they're always getting built and always in progress. I like to go in the off season anyway, so maybe I might go.
Yeah, I know it's not being built. It's been they do not accept any visitors at the moment, so you would have problems getting in. But after a few years, give it after 5 or 10 years, I think, or I hope, I would say, that the issue would be resolved and they would open their gates to everyone who would wish to visit them.
Why aren't they letting people in now? What's going on?
There is one big issue which I would keep it to myself for now, if you don't mind.
Oh yeah, no, that makes sense. Yeah, important stuff should be kept to oneself. I've been told I'm fairly bad at that, but it's a good idea.
It's nothing important, but I do hope to fix this issue eventually, or at least find a way of fixing this issue, as you could have guest time from that place.
Yeah, it kind of sounded that way.
Axon, could you roll a perception check for me?
Perception. Oh wait. Perception.
19.
19.
At the mention of the story and where you're from, you do see that the small frogman does kind of like eyes almost light up in recognition, and then just kind of like keep back to himself. But you can almost notice that he's listening a bit more attentively now.
Did I catch your attention, good sir? And I look directly at the frog.
He just looks up towards you. Oh, no.
Are you sure? Don't... I mean... I will not bite you or, hurt you if you will. You seem to recognize, or at least know this city.
You see he just kind of like looks down for a moment, not really making eye contact, pulls out a small book and begins to kind of write in it. I just strange to see a Vedalken in these parts, is all.
Well, where I'm from, we are not like... I mean, we are not used to see the creatures like you, so, but it's alright.
Anoran. I am an Anoran.
Yeah,
He just continues to write.
Oh well. If you will remember something, or if you want to share something, you're welcome to. And, we are rare, but we are not like extinct yet.
He kind of like
Wait, is there a threat of you guys going extinct? Because that would mean you die too, and I think that would suck.
As I said, not yet.
Yeah, exactly. You make it sound like it's an imminent thing. Are you an endangered species?
Well, you might say that because, as you could you could have guessed, or at least saw from others' reactions, we are rarely seen around those lands, or these lands.
Yeah.
We are not endangered species yet, but we are on the border of it, or on the edge.
Oh, that sucks.
Yes, indeed. You could say that.
You can see Axon still with that 19. As the Anoran is writing in their book, you can see that a small tear begins to build up at the side of the eye, and then their tongue just licks up.
I will pretend that I didn't see this, and look at Ulrin. And so, are we done here, or you want still to buy something?
Sorry, I was looking at the items. I think I'll keep them. I'll stick to healing salve and a normal potion.
Okay, you can take. I have 2 for sale if you want to buy both.
I may be a little short on money. Does either of you want a healing potion?
I mean, I can craft 5 of them if they are needed with those supplies which I bought. But and how much cost one? Oh wait, you probably shared it.
30 gold.
30 gold. Well, I can add some gold, but I don't have the whole amount. If you
So
I-
you would craft them instead.
I think I will try.
Well,
hope I
then
will.
I'll have some faith in your abilities. I'll just take the healing self.
All right, well, here you go. He hands over the regenerative salve. 53 gold pieces, please.
Here you go. And I hand them over.
Okay. Whilst the transactions are going on, you see the small frogman leaps off of the chair with the book in tow. You can see 3 toes on each feet, 3 fingers on each hand. He walks over. He's probably about the same size as maybe up to your calf, up to your kind of like knee almost, as his legs are reclined backwards. Just kind of waddles along, wearing this very kind of long robe with a belt and small hood over the top. He walks over. You can see tucked in his belt there is this large, almost like banana leaf with a stem at the bottom, and he just kind of like holds it as he kind of walks along. He looks up to Mayseelie and just kind of like pulls on the side of their hair, which is dangling on the ground.
Bitch, you what? No, can I help you?
You're in the way of the door.
I'm gonna gonna step away from the door.
Thank you. And he just begins to leave.
Cal had a brief moment of distraction when he listened to accent, but now he's back to just staring at the mantra. It's just like staring at it being. Okay, so I don't need that much money. As you're asking. Do you have like a baby version of that plant? Where you would like have to take care of it yourself, and then when it grows big, it can actually protect you?
I have a few little bulbs, yeah, that you could take and give plenty of nourishment and love. You need to sing to it though to help it grow faster.
Oh, that's not good. I'm not a good singer. But we have someone who I think might be. I actually don't know. I don't think we have anyone that can sing.
The plants
You have to sing
judge.
well.
No, the plants don't judge on the caliber of the singer, just the intent. If you are trying to
That's neat.
yeah.
Honestly, if more people were like that, my life would have been much nicer. Right, how much would it be for a baby one?
Well, it wouldn't be fully developed. It might take a few weeks or so to properly feed and care, but I can give you one for 30 gold.
Yes.
By the way, I didn't want to say it when the little guy was in here, but if you're looking for gold, he's looking to journey southward, and he has a lot of gold on him. He bought a few of my potions, and he asked me for some parchment. So if you're looking for a job and you need the
a job. I thought you were telling us to rob him. I was really confused there for a second.
Oh well, you can do that, I guess, but I don't condone violence.
Yeah, violence sucks.
We would not do that.
Well, look.
Right.
You can ask him if you want. He might say no, but he asked me if people are going south. So his name's Tuco. He's a nice guy. He learns stuff. He's got books. He just seems to be a historian, I think.
I think we also will travel south, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah,
so,
yeah, we are.
Yeah. We can take him along if he would like to join our lovely company. By the way,
I am buying the baby though, by the way.
Okay.
I read the
Cal's just
research,
trashing
Cal,
it.
that the plants can understand the bad thing or like the good thing. So be really careful. If you
Nah, they
s-
can't.
sing badly, they would not like it, and it might postpone their growth.
he's the plant seller. He knows his plants, and he said that they don't care.
Yeah, but I mean, our research has proved that the plants can understand.
Well,
they
but,
can
like,
distinguish good music.
You live on a different plane. Like, is it researchers from
And
your
that's-
plane? Maybe they research plants from your plane. Maybe the plants on your plane, they care about
No.
music, and ours are like,
Don't get me wrong. You can certainly try and sing to that baby plant, and I hope it will grow well.
He said it won't grow. He said it won't grow if I don't sing to it. So.
Anyway, you're certainly welcome to try. I just want to, share my knowledge. But if you're still if you are optimistic, then sure.
Well, I will certainly try. You don't also happen to sell like plant fertilizer or something, or like a small pot I can put it in?
I can give you the proper nourishment that it needs for free. Don't worry.
You are so nice.
Well, I don't want you killing the thing now. And he hands
Oh,
over.
I will. Well, oh wait, no, you shouldn't give it to me for free. Axon, look away for a second, would you?
It's not stealing.
Axon, look away.
Why? What?
Axon. No, just look away for a second.
Why? What's
Does
the
he
point?
have a stealing problem or?
Just look away for a second.
Sure, and I just exit the building. When I stand at the door, like frame, I just look at the center. It was a pleasure doing business with you.
And you, friend.
And I just wave goodbye and just exit.
Cal is going to take out one of the smilers that he acquired, and he's gonna go like, here, like you can't just give me stuff for free. So how about we do an exchange? I picked these really fresh, like these are not even 2 days old, so they should still hit really well.
Oh, okay. Well, no, this is quite valuable. He kind of like goes into the trunk. I'll trade you for this, and he hands over the obsidian spectacles. These are a fair trade.
Nice. Okay, yeah. All right. Thanks.
Wow, Smiler. He's kind of like looking at it with glee.
Wait, let me just check how much.
As I'm still in the room and watching this exchange.
Wait, those are 42. Okay, wait, just a second. I have more of those.
To know whether the smilers are legal or not.
Why do you think I told Axon to leave? He said he'd report me if he saw anything, so I don't look away.
Yeah, I'm aware. Which is why I didn't look away and did not leave the room.
Oh, rude of you. Okay. Does he have to roll to know if they're illegal?
Okay, are there any other transactions?
He's just
Yeah,
ignoring
once
us.
again, I would like to find out whether those smilers are legal to be traded.
Roll a history or nature check.
Okay, history it is.
16. There are some narcotics in the world that are seen and are on a list that everyone knows. There's spice, there's heavy narcotics that are just kind of a big no-no. Smilers aren't like a known thing. They aren't like general knowledge. You'd think that you might have to be in the know to know what a smiler is. So you have to be in a very select group. Now, looking and understanding the background and what this thing is, and the expression on this guy's face. This guy stinks. He smells like he kind of like just smokes 24/7. So his expression to see this is kind of like the holy grail of like stoner weed. He's like looking at this thing going, "Oh my god." He's so it holds some value, at least to him.
Yeah, Cal's just looking at his bag like, I have to do more of these. And he glances at the arrow and like, you only have one of those arrows, don't you?
Do you have more smilers?
Well, let's just say the thing with the arrow is nice and great, but it's only one. So like that's one shot. Once you fire it, you either have to run all that way and get it back, which it is designed to fire far. So like, it's not. It's a one and done thing, right?
Roll a persuasion check.
Yeah.
I would like to give you guidance on that because I feel like you need that to come out of this as a non-criminal.
Okay, you can roll a d4 as well.
Oh no! Honestly, checks out though. Backstory.
He looks at it and he's just kind of like, yeah, I don't know if I can give it away for one smiler, but I'll take some gold as well. Maybe
Well,
20 gold.
20. So,
Well, smiler, 20
a
gold.
smiler and 20 gold. Okay, yeah. Here you go.
Rad.
Arrow acquired.
You
I get
take
20
the-
gold, and I'm
take
down
the
to
arrow.
one smile.
On a side note, how many smilers did you have?
3.
Hmm.
So I have 1 left. Let's just be lucky I didn't eat those. I would not have gotten any stuff then. Oh god.
Okay,
Nice.
anything else? Anything else in the shop? No one? Okay.
I'm too busy staring judgmentally at Cal.
Fair enough. As
Cal
always.
is too busy to notice, and he's staring at his new arrow. It's like,
Okay. Then, with that, the first one to leave would be Axon. So, Axon, you leave the shop. You do see the small green frogman who is currently kind of like walking along at a very slow pace. Their stride isn't massive. You can see they're just kind of wobbling along. Seems to be going towards the stables area. It seems maybe to the tavern.
Well, I would like to, call him
Hmm.
and get his attention. I just say, hey, I heard you're traveling south, so if you would like, you can join our cars as we are going to Bellevue.
As you startle him, he kind of like leaps up about 5 feet in the air and just kind of waits there for a second. Kind of like turns around, waddles, looks towards you. Okay. You heard? Where did you hear that from?
I'm the owner of this fine establishment.
Okay, you're not trying to kill me then.
Oh, of course not. I mean,
Okay.
it was the first time I saw you, so why should I try to kill you? Are you a wanted criminal of sorts?
Oh no, no.
Yeah, then if you have no problems with the law, then you have no problems with me.
Okay, then we are one of the same. I am a historian. I like to collect stories and find the truth. Some people don't like that, so I am very wary of who I trust. But who are you traveling with?
Well, we have Olrin, Cal. You
You
saw.
see, he begins to write down in the book. just as quick as possible.
I mean, you saw that those two at the shop. Also, there is a Myceli, a human. You also encountered her at exit, and there is another woman called Helen. She is currently at the stables looking after our carts and the horses.
Okay. That is appreciated. I will make a note. Okay.
And you see he begins to kind of write those words into another kind of sheet in his hand, one that's been torn out from the book. He writes the names in. He writes another bit of kind of like lecture underneath, scrumples it up, and you see the leaf by his side begins to glow, and from it at the very top, a drop of water begins to correlate and then drops onto the piece of paper, and then the paper just disappears into ether. Seemingly magic being sending this kind of message to someone or something.
Okay. I've just told my friends who I'm going with. I am willing to pay. Do you need payment now?
We can discuss it when we arrive at the,
I think
Next to the
50-50
cart.
makes sense. 50% now and 50% later.
And you see he kind of pulls out from a very tiny pouch by his side a larger bag and pops it onto the floor next to him, which is about the same size as himself.
Here you go. I will leave the gold with you. 250 gold pieces. If you need more, I can give you more. I will go and see Helen.
And you see he just begins to kind of waddle away.
Just tell her that you know us or you know me, and that I told you to go see her. But by the way, are we also need to protect you, or you're
Well,
quite capable either?
I can.
He just begins to keep walking.
All right.
Can
And the
do
bag,
some things.
And he just keeps going.
and the bag he dropped, it just stay
It's
there.
left there. Yeah.
Okay, I will take it and put it away, in my
Okay.
bag.
So you have an extra 250 gold pieces with you.
Good. But I will split it between our group when we all arrive at the car.
All right. So with that, you begin to say your goodbyes to Mjorg. Any other final questions or purchases?
No.
Okay. With that, he just says,
It's
"Safe
pretty
travels. Have fun on the road, though. Just be careful of those wyverns and the howlers and the howling howlings. There's a lot of dangers out there, but you seem capable enough."
It seems you know a lot about the road. Perhaps could you spare some details?
Well, yeah, of course. You're heading down the Gold Throne Road, correct?
Yes.
It is the safest way to go, after all. When you head southward, you'll come by some towns. They're all fine, but it's when you get to the border of the Dorn Republic, the mountains are where they stop and end. Once you pass the mountains, it's a bit more of a dangerous road. Hillsides filled with devils, monstrous beings keep some towns from ever leaving their homes. But if you keep to the main road, mind who you speak to, and look out for each other, you should be good.
A bit ominous, but I appreciate your advice.
Well, that's the dynasty. They don't really stay to the land. They are more naval and to the coast, it makes sense because that place is quite spooky. Don't want to go there when you're having a bad trip.
Yeah, I imagine.
makes it
But
so
also,
much worse.
how important is it that you watch who you speak to? Because I'm not
Well,
great at that.
some of them can be a bit ill-tempered if you say the wrong
Mhm.
things. They're very traditional. If you try and change their
Right.
ways, they won't be happy with that. So if you
Right.
have
So
any
I shouldn't
opinions,
offer them
keep it to
drugs.
yourself.
Right. Got it. Keep opinions to oneself. Yeah, sure.
Also, don't disrespect their sovereign. That is like their god. Although he's a person, don't disrespect him. Any iconography, any sort of representation, try not to piss on it. Not good.
Wait, do you know that from experience that you tried that, or is that just a general thing of note?
There was a tree once. I did pee on it, and I was chased out of town.
I mean, honestly, you shouldn't. Yeah, that
But
seems
when a
rude.
centaur has to go, he has to go.
Yeah.
But yeah, don't do anything I just said, except for the stuff I said do, because that is the stuff you should always do.
Yeah.
Okay.
Right.
Well, good luck facing devils.
Thanks. I haven't met a devil yet. That should be exciting. And Cal's leaving, just waving enthusiastically. Just. Remember, we need to hire someone.
I will. Galameus. I
Thanks.
remember.
Yes, exactly.
Cal, one thing as you're leaving, you see both of the two piranha plants, the two Sallies above. You see from moments they kind of like go down to your level, and almost like they sniff you, like they almost like breathe in your aura. And for a moment, you see the stems that connect their large bulbous heads. You see these red spikes just almost like go down the line and like protrude, and they glow down and then up again, and then they just fade back into the main vine and disappear. You just have this kind of like twinge and tingle over yourself as you see that.
Cal's just gonna reach down and fit it with his ring for a second. And then he's just bye-bye, and he's gonna do the door. I love you, plants!
Bye!
I love you, plants! Plants are fucking cool.
Okay. You meet Axon outside. He has just picked up a large bag. But you're all together again. Where are you heading to next?
Well, I share the details that we are now traveling with that frog guy, and he paid us for this, and he's librarian, so he's quite smart, and I think he has a lot of story to share if you ask him nicely.
Oh. I can do that.
I emphasize, ask nicely.
Yes, like I said, I can do that.
Okay, good.
Right.
So, we are prepared to head out, I think.
Let's go. Well, hard right, but it don't groovy. Let's go!
Okay. So, as you begin to leave, you do have the coin if you wish to purchase anything else from the shop. It will be one of the last places you are able to buy things, just as a heads up. But if not, you can head to the carts and prepare the horses for your leave.
I mean, how much food do we have? Like, is it enough that we would expect to at least not have to forage for the next few days of a journey,
Yeah.
or...
You prepared well enough that you know you were going southward anyway, so you've already got the provisions with you. So that's already accounted for.
We also got those cards, so
Yeah,
We can
so you won't
summon.
be able
Yeah.
to walk either.
If we still have a bit of off time, I would pal around for some spare iron or something
Mhm.
to get something to work on during the journey.
Okay. As you kind of just leave the party to prepare themselves for this moment, you begin to head out. You look around, and you end up finding the same guy you saw when you first arrived. The kind of organizer, the kind of main architect of this settlement, Thul, the stone Goliath. You can see amputee, kind of one leg, one arm, the other side of him, just kind of replaced with these mechanical elements. He sees you. I can help you, mate.
Kind of lagging. I didn't get that.
What are you looking for? You're looking for some iron?
Yes. Something to work with on the road. Iron, leather, some hides, maybe. Something along those lines.
No problem. If you want to come with me, I've got some supplies I can sell to you if you want.
That would be very helpful. Thank you.
All right. He just begins to kind of make his way to the side. One of these kind of large stone buildings, which seems to be the main storage space for most of the architect's work. You can see there are mason's tools, there are pickaxes, and some carving tools as well. And as he kind of walks in, sorry about the mess. We're just still doing a lot of building, so a bit of dust in the air. Pushes through, and eventually he finds one area which is a bit more cleaner than the rest. You can see there are some kind of raw materials, bits of large chunks of iron, as well as a small little forge by the side. You see he kind of like looks over towards you. Well, I used to be a bit of a carver myself, and I've dabbled in a few little things, so I've got my own personal collection. There's more coming in, so I can just sell this to you and you can take it on your way. I know how much resources are valuable, especially on the road. You've got to find something to do. He kind of lifts up one of the cabinets as well, pulls out some kind of strips of leather, as well as kind of chunks of iron. Here you go. It's just some general wares you can use. Do you need large pieces, or do you just need a small amount?
I could just smelt them, so large pieces would do just fine.
All right, there you go. He just begins to kind of stack some pieces up, and he gives you about 10 gold's worth of iron, as well as 20 silver worth of leather strips to be able to bound and make things with. It's an abundant amount, enough to make some crafts that you've got in mind.
Okay, give me a second. I'm currently writing this in.
No worries, mate.
Okay. Iron was 10 gold pieces.
Yep. And you have 20 silver worth of leather.
Okay.
As he kind of hands those to you, you make the transaction, and he just begins to speak. I would use more of it, but unfortunately, accidents happen, and can't really carve or do the little intricacies that I've always wanted to. So help yourself.
This will do. This will do just fine. Thank you very much.
No, that's all right. Good luck on your journey, wherever you're heading.
To Bellavia. Quite the journey, actually.
Oh, Bellavia. Yeah, that's all right place. Journeys for a person like you should be fine. Don't worry about it.
I heard there's some odd folk and dangers beside the road.
Yeah, that's a whole devil thing, but don't worry about that. They tend to stick to the hillsides. If you go on the main path, you'll be fine. Just keep an eye out for bandits. They tend to just stick on the main Gold Throne Road. Although there are guards, one thing I will advise is sometimes the bandits are the guards. So if you see some trouble, typically it will be bandits impersonating guards. There are no such things as tolls, so if someone tries to charge you for gold and entry, that doesn't exist. That shouldn't be a thing. So bear that in mind. What else is there? Yeah, try not to offend anyone. The towns, they stick to themselves quite tight-knit. Offend one, you offend all of them. So Just bear that in mind.
I'll keep that in mind. Thank you for the advice.
No, that's all right. Got to look out for each other.
Great mentality. Well then, good fortune with your building. No,
Thank you. Maybe we should come by in 10 years' time. It'll be all built. Hopefully.
I'll see the town that you've built then.
Make it a deal. And as you begin to kind of head back to the group, what does the rest of the party do? We'll go by one. So, Maycelia, is there anything you do before you head off and leave? Is there any preparations or?
Nope.
Okay. Cal, anything on your end?
Okay. You know those little things you can put in potted plants.
Yeah.
Where there's like, I don't know, an umbrella or something. Those tiny like decorations.
Yeah.
Cal is gonna look like through some of the shops and see if he can find anything that's sort of like tiny enough, but maybe might also offer some actual support, like to help the plant maybe grow alongside it.
Okay.
So practical, but also mostly decoration.
All right. I'd like you to roll an investigation check for me.
7.
You begin to inquire around. You eventually find one person kind of like stood around, and they see you kind of asking questions and kind of like inquiring of people. Hey, look, have you got anything for this, that? You see one person, this kind of like elderly gentleman, walks over towards you. Excuse me, I heard you were looking for something to put your plant in. I have a few things that might be of interest.
For example?
Oh, well, I have a collection of boots. I'd like to make fine leather boots. And if you were to tie it around your waist, perhaps there could be a suitable holster for your plant.
Honestly, yeah, that doesn't sound half dumb. Show me. Can you show me some examples?
Of course. And he pulls out different sized boots, and one seems to be a bit larger, one seems to be like a tiny halfling's boot. Just brings out these different boots, all carved and made with different leathers and colors. Some are kind of like bleached white, others are like stained yellow and grey and brown. He has different kind of sizes and different colors. Well, look,
Is there one that's like... Sorry.
Is there one
that's like greenish, like slightly like greenish, darker green?
The dark green one seems to be almost like those Christmas elf shoes where they kind of curl out and then coil at the very end of the tip of the toe. You can see that's probably built for a halfling or a child, a tiny one.
No, it's a small one. Do you have that one in bigger? It's like at the start it's gonna be very tiny, but I really hope that it's gonna get a bit bigger. So I think I need something bigger, but I really like the green, like I like the color. And it's really funny looking, so that would be also great if you just have that in bigger.
Funny looking. You see, he doesn't know how to take that, whether it's with a fence or there's just this air about him. I can try and... He gets another shoe. He looks at that one. He looks at this kind of largest shoe by his side. 1 second. And he gets this mallet. He starts slamming the end of it, starts rolling out the tip. He begins to kind of like dismantle this other green boot that he had to try and like fashion it. At some points he's like looking at it and he just kind of sews together. Eventually he creates a larger version of that boot with the curl is not as kind of pinpoint and nicely made, but it's a larger version of that.
That is amazing. Okay, but like, how much do you want for it?
Oh, well, a boot costs. He kind of looks you up and down for a moment. 5 gold pieces.
5 gold pieces. That seems... I don't know. Like, I've had some expensive shoes, right? And typically they come in pairs, and you wear them every day. Well, okay, not the really expensive ones. You obviously don't wear those every day. But like this is just one.
I can throw
No,
in
and
the
I'm not gonna
smaller
wear
one
it.
as well.
Cal looks really tempted for a second, but he's like, nah, I really only need the big one.
What if I say
How
4 gold
how about
pieces?
four
For both.
for both? Okay, yes. Give me. I love it. It's so cute. What do I do with this? It doesn't matter what I do with it. It's so cute.
He hands
Thank
you the
you.
2 boots.
Here you go.
Oh, thank you.
Um,
You see his eyes light up at the
yes.
4 gold pieces. Oh, as he begins to walk off with his new acquired coin.
Yeah, set out to find something, found something completely different, is completely happy, and has lost 4 gold. Nice. Okay, yeah. Cal goes back to the caravan, and he takes out the supplements and the all the important shit he got for the plant, and starts putting it in the shoe. And then he very carefully plants the tiny little seed. It's like, there you go, baby.
Do I arrive in time to see him fiddling around with his new shoe?
Sure.
With the big one, I want to mention.
Um.
Oh no, wait! I'm going to first plant it in the small one, and I'm going to put the big one in my bag, so that it can grow into the big one.
Kel, I believe that's neither your size. Also, your fashion sense seems to have taken a dump since the last time.
Well, no, don't worry, it's not for me. It's for the plant.
You bought a boot for your plant.
Yes! Isn't it amazing? There was this really professional gentleman who makes these. And he told me all about how they can benefit like a plant. And yeah. And it wasn't even that expensive, so made a really good deal there.
I suppose a few silver pieces.
Yeah, or a few tens of silver pieces, you know.
You paid him in gold for... Wait. That little pointy end on the shoe, that was... He just made that.
Yes, I got to watch the process of it being created. Like, this is real handmade wares, you know?
By the gods, you
Yeah.
paid gold for this boot, and it's not even a good one.
No, not only for this boot. I paid gold for both of these boots.
You
And
realize
like, once the plant
I
has gotten big enough,
specialize
I can put
also
it
in
from the
leather
tiny boot
working.
in the big boot.
I could have
Yes.
made you a boot.
Yes. But I wanted this boot in particular. And he gave me the tiny one for free.
I can
It's a
make
good
both tiny, big,
deal.
and pointy boots, Kel.
But he was nice. So, and
Well-
honestly, he looked like he needed the money more than I did.
Well then, let's treat this as a donation out of generosity.
Yes, exactly.
In any case,
And also, I
should
got
you re-
boots out of it. Just look at
should
it.
you require
So cute.
some more leather work in the future, or maybe metal work, please come to me first, before another puts his hand in your purse.
Oh yeah, no, I don't want anyone to enter my purse. That would be rude. Okay. Alright. Go to Orin first. I'm gonna remember that.
Okay. So, as astutely observed, Ulrun, these are probably worth like 2 copper. Moving on. Axon, what are you up to during this time? Are you preparing everything, ready to go?
Yep, yeah, I'm packing the things and,
Okay.
preparing
So
the horses.
you, Mayceli, Helen, prepare everything, waiting for the other 2 to arrive, and then eventually you all pack up and are ready to go. You can see the small frogman is kind of like stood by the side.
Do I go into the cart or?
Well, yeah, and take free place seats. If you want, you can lay down. So
Okay.
make yourself at home.
Kind of like hops into the back of the caravan. He begins to look around.
Oh.
He finds a little place to sit.
How is this structured? Like, is the tarp covering everything? It has to be covering everything, or can you like fold it so that half is
You can
covered
fold
and half is
half. Yeah. So the way that the awning works, it
Perfect,
goes
nice,
all the
that's
way across, but you can kind of undo areas because it is just kind of like poles between.
nice.
So,
Let's do that.
all right. So you leave half of it open, half of it closed. You can see the small frogman. He kind of like sits on the outside bit. He kind of looks around. He uses his leaf as like this small kind of like seat. He uses it as like this kind of like one of those L-shaped seats that you have. He just kind of like leans against it and looks back.
Oh.
He's kind of like looking around.
This is very nice.
I approach the little frogman. It seems I've yet to make your acquaintance. Oren.
Oh, Oren, my name is Tuko. I hope you don't mind. I
Yeah,
already
it's
wrote
lagging.
down your
moment.
name in my book.
Yeah, okay.
Anne seems to be
nothing
having
up till
internet
here,
problems.
pretty much.
Okay.
Yeah, Anne. Oh my god! For once, it's not me.
Well, screw you too.
He said his name is Tuko.
Okay. So you'll be joining us on this journey.
Yes?
Hmm.
Is that okay?
Well, of course.
Okay.
I wouldn't mind the company.
No, same. Traveling the road is, I don't like it.
Well, I've been told it's it can be dangerous on the Gold Throne Road.
He kind of nods along.
Very many dangers.
But with this assortment of companions, we should be fine.
Oh, yes. You all seem very capable. I can see there is weapons. You seem to have a bit of magic as well.
Evan, settle in. I'll do a bit of leather work.
Oh, can I watch?
Oh, of course.
Mm,
Kind of like looks over.
Can you explain to me the techniques you are using?
It's a bit advanced, but sure.
I'm a quick learner.
You see, he kind of pulls out a book, flips through some pages, and begins to kind of detail as you begin to explain how you're stripping back the leathers, tanning them, preparing them, readying a kind of like a leather rack to be able to stretch them out on the side of the caravan. He's just kind of like,
Oh, very cool, very interesting.
and he just kind of like notifies everything. You see, at some points, he does kind of like want to ask you more questions, Ulrin, but he just kind of like holds back. Maybe later he might ask some questions, but he just kind of like he looks up and down, and he just continues to write.
Speak your mind. I can talk while I work.
I was just curious with how all of you know each other. You have a Vidalcan. You are from, I want to say, Cragmount.
Quite a
you
good guess.
There are some telltale signs. The wine bottles specifically, I see they are from a vineyard there. We've also got, one person from Leyrons. Not sure.
As he continues to kind of like look down, he just wanders off.
Interesting that you have two from the Feywild. Don't really see many of them together.
Oh, we have two?
Well, I already knew about Axon. Who's the second?
I should not say.
Oh. Then, let's let them their privacy.
And he just kind of like goes a bit more quiet and just keeps writing in his book. The journey continues. Who is kind of leading the reins? I imagine Axon.
Well,
Guide.
no,
Just kidding.
unless someone else wants to. I just turn off my camera from
Oh.
it.
After my last goat experience, I'll just leave the animal handling to someone else.
I mean, if you want me to, I will.
No. If only
I
Kel
will-
wants, I will take
I
it.
will supervise Calvo if he were to take the reins.
We'll probably die if I do it. Probably.
Okay, then Yeah.
Yeah, so
as we have no one else.
Okay. Axon, as you're leading the charge, I would like you to roll a d20.
D20. Mm-hmm. 15.
Okay. The journey through the Red Grain Forest is quite calm. You don't come across any sort of hiccups along the journey. The caravan itself is strong, still well built, hasn't seen much damage. Even though it is kind of like a second-hand caravan, it's not brand new by any means. You guys are more than capable to make the repairs and tweaks where need be. But for the most part, it's very well handled, especially on these roads. And the roads themselves, they're quite cobbled together. They're not the best. The main Gold Throne Road, when you get on it, that's when you begin to kind of go on a plain sailing. But for the moment, you're having to kind of weave between trees, follow a very windy path before you then exit the Red Grain Forest. Takes you about 2 or so hours going through these woods. So if there's anything you guys want to do during that time, you can speak your piece, but by the 2-hour mark, you will be leaving the woods.
Yeah, actually, I take Cal's measurement for the cloak.
Okay.
And Cal tries very hard to stay still for that. It's just like,
And I want to.
Recognizing that Cal is not only still but also quiet, I extend the period of taking measurements.
You see, as Tuco is also kind of writing all of this down, he looks over and he also seems quite shocked that Cal is also quiet and not moving. And he kind of like, and he writes it in his book.
This is the most well-behaved I've seen you in years.
well, you also haven't seen me in years, so like,
Oh, good point.
yeah. Me? Well, for all you know, I was very well behaved during that time.
Let's not get ahead of ourselves.
Yeah, no, that would be ridiculous. I was not. There's stuff going on. But anyway, measurements.
During all of this, as he's kind of taking notes, Mace Seeley, what are you up to during these 2 hours?
Corner with Mushu in her lap, just petting him.
As you're there, just kind of giving some scrunches on the side of its neck, you see it kind of looks up towards you with these kind of white pearlescent eyes, slight grin across the side of its very draconic kind of looking snout. As your focus is kind of on them, at one point you do hear the kind of tiny pitter-patters of the small frogman, Tuco, as he looks up towards you. Kind of looks at you and looks at the pseudo-dragon. The pseudo-dragon kind of snarls in his way. And he kind of
No. And Mushu, we don't snarl at friends.
coils up the side of your arm.
Can I help you?
He kind of like looks at the others and then looks back to you. The others are kind of a bit away at this point. You're probably inside the caravan. The rest of them are outside. And he just kind of like leans up to you.
I have a few questions, if you don't mind.
Sure.
Okay.
He kind of like jumps up beside you, looks up.
I noticed that you're from not this continent. You're from Leyrons. I don't want to get into any trouble, but I seen you before.
Might that be?
I don't.
He kind of like flicks through a few pages, and he shows you kind of like a glued-in page into the side of his book. He kind of like shows it up to you, and you see what you've kind of seen before. He kind of like gestures it to you.
Well, I'm not going to say anything. I just want you to know I am traveling with you, that people might also know. Oh, I just thought I'd say something.
And he closes the book.
About what exactly?
Oh, I don't know. You want me to say it?
My past is not a secret. I don't keep it a secret.
Okay. Then you have nothing to be worried, I guess.
What is it that you're insinuating here?
I've been in Leyrons, I've been in different places, and warrants like this can fetch high prices, and, well, mercenaries, they might do anything to get that reward.
To try.
I imagine the reason it is so high is because you are capable. But I thought I'd tell you, just in case. I will not tell anyone else.
How much? Do you know?
He holds out he holds out 3 fingers and then 2 more.
Okay.
They really want you.
They can try. Don't think they'll get very far.
Okay.
He just kind of like steps down.
I hope so. You seem nice.
He just steps back outside. But yeah, the image that was in there, it's an older image, but some of the features are still you can't change. As you said, you're not hiding, so. Okay. So, with that time passes, and then eventually the trees break away, and you find yourself on the main Goldthrone Road. You are traveling just with the large Howling Mountains in front of you to your left as you're heading down westward on the main Goldthrone Road. There aren't any hiccups on the road either. The road is fairly clear. There's some loose paths and bits of rock that have fallen down from the local area and degraded over time, erosion and whatnot. But every so often you see guards walking down, and they give you a nod in your direction, a little wave, kind of just gesturing that they're there, protective. You can see them dressed in like silvers and blues, the colors of the Dawn Republic. But you also see the odd sentinel walking alongside them. These large steam-based automatons that kind of walk around, steam pouring from vents at the side of them. And they also kind of gesture and wave in a very robotic manner towards you as you walk past. They continue to walk on. not the same as a Warforged. These ones seem to be more built for purpose, less of their own mind, more of a programming involved. But continuing down, you have another 3 or so hours of sunlight available to you, and you are just on the outskirts of a small town called Amslock. You can either go into Amslock if you wish, or you can stay on the outskirts. You have enough supplies, you have camping equipment with you to not need to go in if you find, if you do not wish to enter.
What time is it now?
Now it comes at about 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock in the evening. Because it is summer, the sun does hang higher, but it is kind of like pretty much dark at this point.
So, what shall we do? Should we stay out in the wild or go into the city or this town and find some place to stay for a night?
I'd take the city.
Honestly, sleeping under the stars is so much fun.
I don't care.
Well, if you
I mean-
prefer the ground to a bed, I will not stop you. But
I don't care, but I do think it's smart to save the coin we do have. You never know what could happen.
That's a good point.
Paying for a tavern might not be a good idea when we have what we need to spare the money, I guess.
Well,
We can do it. I don't care. If you
do
need a
prefer-
bed, that's fine.
Yeah, I do prefer a bed. Or
You see, as you're having this conversation, Tuco speaks up.
If you need somewhere to sleep and more comfort, I can create a dome if you wish to sleep in that. It creates the environment you wish, and it makes the ground nice and soft.
Does it also create beds?
No, but it turns the ground into a very soft leaf.
So,
Ooh. I've never
Yes.
slept under a dome before. That sounds fun. Let's do that.
And Took, you said that you're a librarian or historian, right? How did you, learn magic and all that stuff?
I learned it through my home, but I practiced it more in the Jadeite Umbra. Do you know of this place?
I think I heard of it. I don't think I met any member of them, but I heard of them. They are peacekeepers, right, in the realms.
They are peacekeepers, and they also collect information from the world, safekeeping knowledge and ensuring that the planes and everything in between is safe. They are good people.
Are you also a member of that organization?
I've worked in their libraries. I wouldn't say I am one of them, no.
Alright. Yeah, then. Sure, then let's stay out in the open and Took, if you would be so kind to create the dome, we would really appreciate it.
Okay.
You see, he just kind of like hops off the caravan, looks around, pulls out his leaf, slams it onto the ground, and after about a minute or so, you begin to see that this almost ethereal leaf, a larger version of the banana leaf he carries by his side, just begins to kind of overwrap and create this dome-like structure. And you see it almost fold in on itself, creating this pod inside, a nice, warm, cozy pod. You see he just kind of like looks over.
It is finished. We can all sleep inside if you wish.
He leaps through, and going through the barrier, it just seems to kind of allow you passage. This kind of leaf seems to be almost ethereal in design. And as you kind of step in and look in, you can see that there is this large, soft kind of bed of a singular, almost like a lily, like a pad, a leaf of sorts that just kind of rests there, and you can see there are small little buds of flowers that act as pillows, and you can see they're just kind of resting in different areas. And you see Tuko just kind of leans on one of them.
You can sleep in here. It should be big enough for all of us, but not for the horses.
Yeah, of course. Quite understandable. But we can watch from this position after the horses, or if any danger, we need to still have watches, right? Just in case.
I can I can make an alarm if you want to round the camp.
Well, if you're quite capable, gentlemen, then yeah, we would be grateful. And, you know, after you doing all this work, it kind of makes me feel bad that we took that coin.
Yeah, honestly, you're starting to make me feel bad. Stop working so hard. You're literally technically our guest.
He kind of like looks a bit embarrassed for a moment.
Okay.
And he just like sits down.
Well, not that we aren't grateful. We're very grateful, but like, aren't you paying us? Now I feel like I'm paying you. It's like...
At least let me help you to set up this, alarm barrier, or, you know.
He jumps out, he goes with you, and he begins to, with the banana leaf by his side, he uses it as almost like a pen, as he begins to write in the air itself this kind of sigil that he just kind of makes a ring around the entire space, eventually finishing it back where he started. And you see it glow for a second with this kind of like swampy greenish coloration, and then it turned almost to water and then translucent and completely disappeared from view.
Okay, it is in place.
Well done. And so we don't need any watches, right? You will notify us if anything like hostile will pass this barrier. All right.
Yes.
Good. Tuk, do you have any stories to share about, you know, your travels, your knowledge, or maybe you read something in those books? Something interesting.
Cal leans a bit closer to Axe and it's like,
I think his name is Tuko, not Duke. Just, as a basis of information.
Okay. Yeah, I do have a bad memory for the names. Sorry for that. Is your name Tuk or Tuko?
Tuko.
Tuko. Okay. Sorry about there.
No, it's okay. Stories. Well, there are many different stories. What do you want to know?
the weirdest.
The weirdest? Well, there's a lot of weird in the world. Well, I can tell you stories of where we're going. That I've heard.
Yes.
Okay. Well, it's said that there are devils that hide within the hills, but they weren't always there. They say that there used to be people in the hills, and the people, they had turned. Something changed them. They were no longer people. Instead, they became infernal creatures who only wanted to devour souls. These soul devils would go into towns seeking the weak, go and find them while they slept. The dynasty, they live open lives. They were not prepared for this, and because of that, many of them lost their minds. The devils would devour them like soup. Drink.
Like soup.
Like soup. They would drink their minds and take their soul, and all that would be left behind were husks of bodies. This was stopped, and then started and stopped and started, and there's a long history of this being an occurrence that can never end, a cycle that is a constant. Hopefully we do not find any on the road, but if the history is to be said, it can be repeated.
Right, that was not a weird story, that was a scary story.
Yeah.
Why would you say that right before we're about to go to sleep?
Well, we're not
Yeah,
in a
do you have
dynasty
like a
yet.
more cheerful story?
Okay, well...
You can also sing if you want to.
No, I cannot sing.
Wait,
No.
no, my plant needs singing, so if you could actually sing it, that would be amazing.
No, I have stage fright. I cannot sing.
But it's only us in here.
Do you know any fairy tales?
And we can turn around, we don't have to watch you. We can just listen.
Oh, no, I cannot sing. No.
Come on.
Okay,
guys.
okay. I can also not sing, so like that's fair.
Yeah, not everyone can sing, so leave the guy
You want to
alone.
know
Yeah.
something weird? You really
No.
want to know something
Yes.
weird?
We want to
Yeah, but like weird funny.
hear some fairy tales.
Mm-hmm.
Put them to sleep, you know?
I'm getting mixed messages. Which one do you want?
Well, he wants a fairy tale, and I want a weird funny story. And I think Maycelia just doesn't want a story of devils that suck out your soul like soup.
Okay, well, a weird story. My species, we come in different sizes and different subspecies. I have the genetic disorder of profusely sweating. He kind of like
No,
It's like-
no, okay.
when
no,
I get really
no,
nervous,
no, too
I-
much
I excrete.
information. No.
And you see as
Okay.
he's kind of like wipes his brow,
Oh.
you see this kind of like oil slick drip from his fingers.
it now don't judge me. It is I don't know why, but people find it a delicacy. I don't know.
Oh no.
I said it
You-
was weird.
Yeah, you wanted something weird. Here we go, Cal. So
No. Weird funny.
it's quite funny,
Not
I would
weird.
say. Especially
Well,
your
Well,
reaction.
if you think the story isn't funny, you should see your face, Cal.
Yeah.
It's sad and
Oh,
funny.
come on. My reaction to it might be funny, but that was that was a good attempt. It was a good attempt. Does anyone else have a funny story that is not about sweat being eaten or
Finish the
Souls
story
being
before we
straight
move on,
legs.
because I hate finishing things halfway. And my
okay, but you
sweat
really don't have.
is actually poison.
Wait, so if you drink this too much, you get poisoned?
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
But some people, they really like it. I don't know why.
can you die from this poison? Like,
Hmm. No, but my cousin, people tried to lick him. It was not a good time.
lick him.
I
Why?
don't.
Did he taste so good?
I don't know what my cousin tastes like. This isn't what I do. But some people, they are so weird. They chase us. They chase us and they say, "Let me taste you." And no, it isn't right.
You know, after hearing that story,
Yeah.
I might have like sick feeling that I want to try and taste you as well. But yeah, well, keep it in check.
No.
Cal is
Doesn't-
just sitting there disgusted. He's just like, no.
Don't worry, yeah. Just I'm wondering why those people chasing you around.
Well, it is. Our sweat glands are like a defensive mechanism for larger beasts. They try to eat us, and they suffer effects. Each one is different. I don't know what mine does. I am a little bit curious, but no, I don't want anyone to eat me or lick me.
Well, don't you want to find out how he tastes like?
Oh my god.
Come on, just a little lick, you know, it wouldn't hurt
No,
too much.
Axon, please.
I can
don't.
sacrifice
You will
for
regret
you.
this in the morning. You will regret this, believe me. You will wake up with a weird taste on your tongue, and you'll be like, "What the fuck did I eat last night?" And then you will remember what you licked,
No.
Sound like-
and
I-
you will be
Strange.
filled with regret.
I propose it to
Let
you.
me
I
just
want
tell you
to...
this from experience. Don't.
At the mention of experience, Oren looks at you, shocked.
No, not like specific frog related experience, but like licking strange substances and waking up in the morning and being regretful experiences. You know, not licking frogs experiences.
Well, it was kinda interesting fact about you, Tuka.
No, it really wasn't.
It's quite exciting to see Cal's reaction at this fact, but do you like have any knowledge about, you know, sicknesses and stuff that might cure them, or?
There are many in the world. I don't know all of them. It's not my speciality, but I will say when I heard your story, Axon, I do remember hearing of the tragedy that has befallen your city.
Yeah. Do you know any like cure or
No, I'm sorry.
the source where?
I only heard your story through my colleagues, my friends. Perhaps they might know something. They will be in Bellevue as well. I sent them a message saying that I was on my way with you, so perhaps they
Oh.
might know something.
So could you introduce me to them? And
Hmm,
I might ask them personally.
but don't lick them.
Oh yeah,
Oh,
don't worry.
no.
If anyone ever leak, it's only you. Don't worry.
No, please.
Oh boy.
So I'm kind of afraid to ask at this point, but you said that illnesses aren't your specialty. What is your specialty? Like history in general? Or...
I like to observe people and learn new things. History has many famous people, heroes, villains, commoners, fishermen, traders. There are many different occupations that I find fascinating, and I try to learn, or at least understand, how they all work.
Right. And why are you headed to Bellevue? Is there someone exciting there that you want to meet? Or
Oh, it is a convention with the rest of my friends. We are going there it is an annual meeting. We go to Bellevue. We go and see the others that are within our place of learning, and from there we trade notes. We share our knowledge of what we found. And from them, Bellavia is the best place to go. It is a harbor that is around the world. They go everywhere. So people from Alakshir, Ishvahi as well, they all come to Bellavia. And we trade notes, and we also sign autographs because there are many famous historians there as well.
Cool. That sounds fairly boring, but I'm sure you will have a lot of fun. All right. So, does anyone else have any more questions, or can we go to sleep?
I'll have nightmares, but I'll go to sleep. Thank you.
Yes, I will only be seeing people that lick frogs.
Well, at least you forgot about the devils drinking people soup.
Oh, right. The
Helps.
devil's drinking people soup.
Okay, have a good night.
And you see he just leans into one of the flowers.
This fucking guy.
I also lie down with a slight laugh.
Okay. So one by one.
Cal stays awake.
Oh.
Okay. Okay.
He's gonna lick
Cal
that
does not
toad.
stay awake.
No.
Whole night?
Oh no! Cal does not lick the toad. No, not happening.
Did you lick a toe? No.
No!
The burnt toe.
Stop understanding toes! Jesus Christ!
It's even more
I
disgusting.
said
Come on.
toad!
Better
A
like a
toad.
frog.
Oh my god.
Oh, sorry.
Anyway, no, Cal's just gonna gonna troll around with his ring a bit, gonna be like, okay, there's the devils around here. We're still in the Dawn Republic. They said that the danger comes after you leave the border, so it's fine. And then he goes to sleep, poking himself into it it's fine.
Mhm.
No devils. And no frog licking people.
Everyone else go to sleep?
Yeah.
Yeah.
If there would be any time to spare, I would like to at least start to craft potion.
Okay. Just roll
Okay.
a herbalism kit check. So this will be intelligence plus your proficiency.
All right.
And what is it you're specifically making? Is it a regular healing potion, or are you trying to make something that gates away conditions?
Yeah, just a normal healing potion.
Okay.
But I need to roll.
On a side note,
Mm-hmm.
did a little digging on the Cloak of Protection, and
Yeah.
I came up with about 200 gold pieces cost.
Oh,
So I
Yep.
was. Let's see, what did you roll?
That one.
Another one.
Ooh. Oh boy, I had too much confidence in your abilities.
Yeah, that what jinxed me. It's your confidence.
Oh, the shade.
Yeah.
Clearly.
Okay. So Axon, you begin to try and create the potions. Basically, what you do today, this evening, is just organize yourself in a way that you know what to use. You kind of place the properties in the right area. This amount here, that amount there. You distribute enough to kind of organize yourself. You make no progress in creating the actual potions. But also, you don't create any hindrances or break anything.
Yeah, good.
Yeah.
At least I do not waste any ingredients.
Yeah. You just kind of waste the evening, basically.
Yeah.
And
Just I can't, I can't focus because I imagine how Kel licks this toad and his reaction after hearing that story.
you
It just-
are the one who said, "Oh, let me try it."
It just can't, go out of my mind, and that's why I just, can't focus on producing any
Mhm.
potions.
Okay. And Olrin, what did you get up to?
Yeah. I was going to start working on that cloak, and I wanted to ask whether 200 gold pieces would be adequate for an uncommon item granting +1 AC, +1 thingy save.
To all saving throws, right?
Yeah, I believe so.
So uncommon items come to about 500 gold pieces,
Okay.
roughly. But if you want to try and see if you can come up with a way to mitigate that cost, I will allow you to roll either Arcana or whatever tool you would deem appropriate for this task.
I guess leatherworking. Okay.
Yeah,
In this
that works
case
for me.
specifically.
So this will be plus your
where did I
wisdom.
have that? Okay, so let's see. Put that to wisdom. And there you go. Oh, yeah, I forgotten. I almost forgot about guidance, but I guess it's too late and not necessary.
I'll allow you to edit this time. That's fine.
Okay. So that's a.
Because I saw you hesitating to say it, so that's fine. 4. Okay, 24. You find
Nice.
ways to kind of beat around the bush when it comes to the cost involved. You get the sense that you can probably make one for 200 gold pieces.
Okay,
So you kind
I
of
heard
prepare the
none of that.
resources,
Too
you
late.
have everything at your hand. You just have to kind of create the item now.
Okay, I had a little lag during some of that.
No worries. So you basically gain the knowledge of being able to do it with a 200 gold restraint, but you will need to start the process on a following day. So this day you just kind of focus on,
Okay.
I've got the resources, I know what I need to do, bing bang bong, ready for cloak to be prepared in the following days.
So
Okay.
essentially, he does the same thing as X.
Yes, but efficient.
That?
All right. With that, you kind of end up falling asleep in your own time after having prepared your bits of craft that you ready for the future, and you all begin to sleep. As you begin to sleep, Maycili, seeing that image brings back just kind of flashes of memory. The image itself was a younger version of yourself, not too young, but seeing those kind of younger eyes, the younger, kind of less experienced features, leads your mind wandering back to another time. You find yourself in a much smaller stature. You're not standing at your regular height, you're a bit shorter. Your red twin tails that go down the side of your head, they are much shorter, they're about shoulder length. As you are currently trekking through a very harsh environment, and you can see a couple of people with you. Their features are kind of like slightly warped and shaped differently, but they are of similar stature to yourself. Seems to be a bunch of kids. You are accompanied with a few others, and although you can't see their faces, you can see one of them has kind of reddish hair. Another one has kind of like a slightly more brownish tint to it. Whilst another seems to have this kind of like darker features altogether. They seem to be accompanying you and traversing through this very heavily obscured area of wildlife and just jungle. I'd like you to roll a survival check for me. Okay.
That'd be net 20.
You are ahead of the curve. You see all of the other three behind you struggling to like climb this rocky surface. Vines everywhere. You can see some of them begin to like hurt themselves on spikes and thorns and bits of rock that kind of fall and tumble onto themselves. And you can see the twisted trees rise up, and you see there's vines on one of them. And you kind of like grab onto one and then use it to hoist yourself up, and you gain good leverage as you continue to climb and climb. Eventually, you find yourself reaching a plateau at the edge of this cliff face that you're climbing. You can see the journey continues forward, further up, and you can see the hillside just kind of rolls up at a very kind of sheer cliff drop. Standing in this grove where trees are kind of warped and bent and kind of hanging over themselves, you can see a silhouette of a man at the very top of it. The sun is setting and almost completely set at this point, but this large kind of wide-figured man just stands there with crossed arms and again distorted features, but there is a bit of a red in their hair with a dash of white down the sides as their arms cross and they just wait there. This intimidating figure just waiting. What do you do?
Pro?
Okay. You begin to climb once more and run with a bit more haste and a faster initiative inside of you. You climb about halfway up this hillside, and at one point you instinctively kind of look back and you can see those three other kids are just kind of struggling as they climb up. One of them seems to be a bit more athletic than the other, and they're just kind of like abandoning the other two as well. You can see they seem to be in a bit of a competition. Meanwhile, two seem to be stuck with each other and kind of helping each other up as they go. But they are last in this seemingly race. You are ways ahead, but the sun is continuing and continuing to set. I'd like you to roll an acrobatics or athletics check.
Oh no. Be this.
Okay. You begin to climb and your small frame begins to kind of falter at some places. Your stamina is beginning to slow down as you climb and eventually find yourself landing up at the top of this hillside with just a small incline to climb. You're about 80 feet away from this tall figure just standing there and waiting, no longer arms crossed, but instead held behind their back as they look down. And all you can see, the features are disfigured. You can't see anything. It's just a blur. But their eyes stare through you. There is an intimidating presence that just stares through you. And there are eyes that match your own. And he just kind of stands there and waits. The sun continues and continues and continues to set. The darkness begins to almost overwrap the sky. You know something deep inside of you that there's little time remaining until you have to reach this man. And there is a fear inside of you if you don't get that point. But here now, that other individual, that male boy figure, has now caught up with you, isn't at the same pace as you, both climbing and beginning to run up. You can see at one point, grabs the side of your leg, and he's going to try and pull you down further. I'm going to need you to roll a dexterity saving throw. 12. You kick him off as he kind of like falls down slightly, kind of holding on, trying to make sure he doesn't fall. What do you do in return?
Is it rocky? Like the thing we're climbing, it's solid. Is it like mountainy?
It's rocky with a little bit of vines and some bits of grass here and there, but it is quite jagged.
Something that's like loose that I can throw down?
Yeah.
Just anything there is like loose. If there's like dirt or leaves or twigs, something that just sticks out that I can just throw.
Okay, just roll a. This will be just a straight wisdom check. So this would be to see if you can find something and then just pelt it down. 6. You look for something, you grab the closest thing that you find at your disposal. Now make an attack roll at disadvantage for me. So this will be using either your dexterity or your strength.
I do this. Wait.
Just basically roll an ability check.
Come on.
Okay, roll it again because it is at disadvantage.
Oh, it doesn't really get any worse.
Oh, it can.
Trust the process. Oh
Okay, it
my!
could get worse.
I did. Why did I jinx it?
Always happens.
You got worse.
You, in this moment, this like almost primal need to fight off the competition. You see a rock by your side that looks loose. You begin to kick it to try and kind of cause it to shake off and drop down on top of your opponent. But in the course of kicking it, your leg gets caught in one of the vines and you find yourself swinging and dangling down. And the two of you kind of bump into each other and then wrap around these vines as you're now stuck, bound to this person. At this point, as you're dangling there, you see the other two that were climbing up have reached that first lip, but the sun has completely set. It is a dark and dreary night where you begin to see the clouds and thunder begin to lightning cackles in the sky as it illuminates only parts of the very dark expanse of these woods that you have found yourself in. As you're there, bound, unable to move, you see the two figures down below look up in this kind of like fearful state, and the large male figure stands over, looking down, and you see their head just shake back and forth. Unacceptable. And you see they begin to leave. Find your way back by yourselves. And he begins to leave. And you see he almost leaves with bounds and large jumps rather than climbing down this hillside, effortlessly climbing down. And he leaves you 4 kids to fend for yourselves. With that, you find yourself waking up. No longer in that dark and dreary place, but instead in a morning which is a bit more pleasant. The rest of you awaken as well, one by one, as you see the dome eventually unravels itself and dissipates, the spell finishing upon 8 hours of completion. And you see Tuco look around, just kind of like stretches in place.
Oh, well, no alarms were set. We should be okay.
No demons.
Cal
or
wakes up
devils.
Oh,
and
Quite unlucky.
Cal sits up, rubbing his eyes, and goes, "Yeah, I had the weirdest dream. There was this frog guy, and he mentioned that people licked him. And then he looks around, sees Tuco, and just goes, oh, yeah. Oh, no.
It
Have
wasn't a
people
dream.
really licked you? I should not have asked that. Ignore that I asked that.
put something a
And
bit
then
more
he's gonna
joyous
distract
next time.
himself with the plant.
Well, in my
He's gonna
dream,
go
I had to
distract
keep you
himself
from
with his
licking
new
him.
morning
So...
ritual.
I would never. Why would I do that? That's disgusting. No offense. That's disgusting.
What's a delicacy? So like, some people do it. So would it be so bad
So
that
you want to lick him?
No. I didn't say I'm not a person who likes eat delicacies and stuff.
Aren't you curious how he tastes like? And why
No.
people
Well,
lick
no,
them?
that you are
Again, I
apparently
don't do delicacies. I don't no money for that shit.
It's free. Come on,
Well,
just try it and
Some delicacies can only
Team
be
free.
recommended, like some of the fancy fish stuff. That's really good, actually.
You
In
see-
my experience, a delicacy usually means a smaller, unsatisfying portion. So
Yeah, typically.
You see, with this conversation, Tuco begins to sweat even more. More of this oily slip is just dripping down the side of him.
Conversation is not helping. Stop.
Come on, we just season you, Tuko. Don't get to an idea. Let's just continue on our journey.
Kara's going to do a morning ritual he's going to do from now for every day, and he's just going to take the boot and check the soil and maybe water it if needed, and then be like, okay, there you go, good morning. And just talk to the plant for a few seconds and then put it somewhere where the sun reaches it and on the wagon and be like, okay.
Nice.
you forgot the singing.
Yeah, you gotta
but
sing to
Axel made me really unsure if I should, because he said that if I sing badly, and I will, I'm not particularly good at singing. He said that if I sing badly, the plant won't grow nicely, and I really wanted to grow nicely.
But it won't
No,
grow
But
if
then
you don't
Axel,
sing
I
to it at
trusted
all.
Previous gardener.
It won't?
No, I didn't say it won't like grow at all. It will grow, but at much slower pace, and its character might, be spoiled a bit.
Okay. Well, okay. And he looks around at everyone.
Can any of us sing, like the tiniest of bits?
Well, I suppose I know a few tavern songs, so that helps.
Drunk, maybe.
Yes, sing at it. Like, I can make you drunk.
No, thank you.
Okay, well, okay. Oren, please sing at the plant.
Oh, sure then. And I somewhat nervously approach the plant. Here goes.
You see the
do you
very
roll on
poorly
performance?
made boot filled with soil.
Yes.
Okay. So do I roll on performance?
Yes, please.
Okay.
I will ask you this though. How
Yes.
does Oren feel about this boot? Does it shake him enough that he's angered that the performance goes sour?
I'm definitely hurting my professional pride because it's that badly made.
Okay, then roll it with disadvantage then.
No! No!
Excellent.
No! My plant!
It was going to be a 5 anyway, really.
I know.
Okay, so Oren, you begin to kind of... Tavern songs aren't the same if you're not drunk. You're just kind of like you're sober as day man. You've just woken up. You're looking around at a fucking poorly made boot by some homeless man. And you're just thinking, what am I doing? And you're haphazardly singing this song.
No. I'm
No,
not drunk
you're
enough
doing
for
great,
this,
you're doing
and
great.
staring at this boot just makes me depressed.
And Callie immediately goes to pat the boot. It's like, don't listen to him. He's just a meanie.
I'd nothing against the plant, but just a waste of leather.
Well, once the plant grows out of the boot, you can have it and rework it into something prettier if you want.
Do you insist on a boot, though? I feel
No,
like
no,
clay
honestly,
pot would be
I
fine.
don't. Yes, but now I've bought the boots and now I'm gonna use them.
I suppose those are not for wearing, so
Exactly. Also, they're way too small for me to wear. Like, way too small. Like the other one, not. But then I'd only wear one green boot with a curl at it, and my other boot would be completely normal. And I think that might look a bit confusing.
well, maybe after a beer or two I'll sing better, but let's leave that for tonight then. It doesn't
Yeah,
do
no,
well
okay, that's
getting
fair.
drunk 5 minutes after waking up.
Well, technically, only one of us needs to drive the cart. Wait, the rest of us can get wasted.
Once again, let's push that off till tonight.
Okay, fine.
Besides, we don't have enough alcohol to last the entire journey.
Oh, we don't? No, okay, no, we don't. I don't have that much on me.
I mean, I've
Not quite.
what? 1, 2, 3, 4 bottles of my homemade brew.
Well, you know, if we really drag it out, that might be enough for all of us. Well, one person has to stay sober and drive the cart, and the rest can get away. You know.
Well, in any case, so let's continue our journey.
Okay. Who is leading the charge once again? So we have, is it Axon at the helm? Okay.
As always, yes, I'm leading.
Axon, because you rolled last time, we'll go over to someone else to roll for the daily travel. We'll go with Arne.
Okay, so animal handling? Or it's just a...
D20.
Just a D20.
Okay.
This is to see what the day is gonna bring. The lower the roll, the worse it's gonna get.
Oh boy.
Ooh, miserable arc. That's barely lower than the last day. Boo.
So
Just
as
as a safety measure, the next time someone has to roll, can I guidance that?
just as like a warning, how we do percentile dice and general rolls, D20s, 20 you want to get. That's the highest number. When it comes to D100s, the lower number is the better, unless the spell says otherwise. Spell or ability, if it says otherwise, then you're looking for whatever it says. But yeah, you're looking for the lowest on a D100, the highest on a D20.
Okay.
So 14 is above average. So as the journey begins forward, you can see that the skies are clear. There's no trouble on the roads. Do you go through Amslock or do you go around it? There's both ways to go.
Oh, we have no reason to go in, so
Okay.
I would say around it.
Fair enough.
Avoiding civilization already.
Avoid the town just in case. On the outskirts, as you're just kind of like going around it, you can see that it seems to be almost a very similar getup to what you saw at the Shattered Glass. It's a very ramshackled looking sets of buildings, but a bit more built up, a bit more of a civilization rather than the ramshackled version that you saw in the Shattered Glass. This seems to be more of a settlement that's been here for a longer period of time. And for most of you, you'd know that this place has been here for hundreds and hundreds of years. But for the most part, none of the civilizations, none of the people in the civilization at least leave or walk out and see you. So you are able to skirt around without much problem. And as you leave Amslock, you begin to see the large Howling Mountains in front of you. The first thing that you notice from the Howling Mountains is that heavy whistling sound that just is a perpetual noise of wind through the very thin peaks at the tops. These mountains are ginormous. They are some of the biggest in all of Kulthayek, and to have a string of them this long is almost an impossibility. But, as you know, this world is filled with those sorts of impossibilities. The wind is howling, it whistles, and it never stops. It becomes almost a background noise, like static, as you continue the journey. And you eventually get closer and closer, and you find yourselves within the Howling Mountains. And that's where we'll begin next session. So, we'll end it there. Thank you very much for watching, whoever is watching. We'll pick up here next week. See you next time.
Yeah.
And there we go.